A much-loved BBC Kids show might get cut as big changes are coming because people watch TV differently now, it has been reported. Blue Peter, which started in 1958 and is the longest-running kids TV show in the world, could be changed a lot by the BBC. Allegedly, they're thinking about letting different people make the show to help it become popular again. Back in the day, Blue Peter was watched by 8 million people every time it was on. But now, only 37,700 people watch it each week. The current presenters are Sheeni Muthukrishnan, Joel Mawini, Abby Cook, and Henry the Dog. They might see some big changes even though the BBC says that the new plans won't change any deals they already have with presenters. The BBC mentioned, "We are open to suggestions for refreshing presenters on a regular basis," reports The Mirror. But Peter Duncan, who was on Blue Peter from 1985 to 1986 with his pet Goldie, doesn't think it's a good idea. He said, "I can't see how that's going to work. They're selling a brand of which all the people like me and the other presenters have been a part of. And how do you keep a pet if you have a different presenter each week?" The tender is said to be for a 2-year contract starting in April 2025. Blue Peter currently airs live every Friday at 5 p.m. on CBBC, yet the tender states there is no requirement to retain this model. It could see live broadcast scrapped altogether. In response, a BBC spokesperson said, "The tender is a procedural document and to draw anything further from it is total speculation." Blue Peter has a bright future. Former Blue Peter host Connie Huck recently called for children's TV to return to BBC One. The longest-serving presenter of the iconic show said kids are missing out because their programs are on digital channels that they can watch on demand and on their own devices. She said, "Blue Peter was on 3 times a week on BBC One, in what was still an era of family viewing. People would watch things all together at tea time around the telly and that's been lost. That's why the BBC should bring back children's programs on BBC One after they get home from school. I think it would be a better way to use the children's programming budget, rather than diluting the budget over a whole 2 channels." Blue Peter could be returning to its former glory after calls from telly favourite Connie. The presenter, who fronted the magazine programme from 1997 to 2008, believes the show could be revived on BBC One. She said, "Then you could have Blue Peter back, and programs like Newsround. Just give us an hour a day, that's all I ask." The 48-year-old has 2 sons, Covey, 12, and Huxley, 10, with TV writer Charlie Brooker. Yvette Fielding also backed Connie's calls after Blue Peter was moved onto CBBC back in 2011. She said, "It was a real shame. It wasn't just a children's TV show, it was a program for the family. Even Princess Diana told me she loved to sit with Harry and William and cuddle up and watch Blue Peter. It was for people to come together." Express.co.uk has contacted the BBC for further comment.